All right, guys, look, Justin Earhart here, Presentation Streamline. Obviously, you guys, for the most part, know me. We've dealt very well hand in hand with each other to build up your personalized platform, and it's been working for a good majority of you guys. Okay, so we're gonna start doing some more training and releasing training and stuff like that. Inside this email down below, there's a Presentation Streamline support Facebook group that I recommend you guys go to be able to provide to help you guys the whole point of building this platform and the automation side of it. So obviously from the things that I piecemealed together for you, there's some things that you need to be doing. Obviously still have a conversation, people. This whole automation is designed to streamline your initial presentation and conversation, either if it's a financial fundamentals, if it's a recruiting webinar, debt reduction. Some people are using it for their other companies. Just say, hey, here's what we do. So you still have to be able to talk to people, and it's about saving you time. I've had some people like, well, it's not working for me. Hey, let me ask you, how many people have you got or talked to? Well, I've talked to a few people this week. Look, guys, we all know it doesn't matter if you're meeting people one-on-one or if you're doing automation. It doesn't matter if you're not talking to people. And remember, the numbers are the numbers. In the system manual, the numbers are the numbers. If you invite 10 people to your automated presentation, you're still going to have 1 to 3 people do something. So don't look at the 70% not working on your presentation, like, oh, the presentation Streamline doesn't work. It does work just like a normal one-on-one would work, okay? So again, use your system, do it right, and build this up right, how you should. So I have some updates for you. I know over the last few months, I've been pretty quiet on this. We've been putting a lot into this to get this built up and everything. So I wanted to just provide you guys a quick little update on this video, just so you can have something to look forward to, okay? So the developers are still working on it. They're actually in bug fix mode right now. I have a couple more updates that I want them to do to enhance your guys' experience that I didn't make clear to them when I first started talking to them. Once I realized that, damn it, we need to update this part, putting some more money into it to make the experience the best for you guys and as simple as possible for you. So I'm pretty excited about this coming up. And we're gonna knock this out and show you guys what it all looks like, at least right now, okay? So this will be the sign in where you guys, once you have the platform where you sign in at to get into the back end to knock things out. Your profile will be able to be updated. You can put in your picture, username, password updates, names, phone numbers, email, all that stuff. The typical stuff that you can update inside of your platform, right? This is what's going to look like essentially your webinar platform itself. Once you're logged in, this is where it goes, says, hey, this is the topics, the scheduled date. If you have one webinar that you're launching on a specific date, we are currently updating it because I didn't make it known that I wanted it to be automatic scheduling, which you guys have. So that is an update coming up. So don't worry, that'll be in there. It'll have the duration of it. If you limit the number of attendees to your webinars, for instance, if you guys start having paid webinars where you say, hey, through my landing page, someone's going to pay me to get into this webinar, and you can limit the number of attendees. Inside of it, that's coming up. English, type it's going to be private or public, and if it's either open or closed, or if it's active or inactive, essentially, is what that's going to easily look like for you guys. When you're actually editing and creating a webinar, you'll be able to do all your topics, your webinar types inside of it. Again, if it's private or if it's public, that you can have out there, and there'll be more training on that once I have access to test the platform out and show you guys what the actual platform looks like in live time, and showing you how to do all this stuff. And then the webinar description, you can put the updates inside of there about your webinar. Again, just basic stuff you guys can't do right now because everything has to go through me since I piecemealed it together with 5 or 6 different platforms. So being able to control your own stuff is going to be pretty exciting for you. Updating the webinar hosts inside of it, so that way when they are inside the webinar, they can at least see who their host is, and the picture is just like you guys have it now. Being able to do that. The webinar registration page, this is getting changed. I am going to be in the creation page, which I'll show you guys shortly. We are going to be able to make this a little bit more fancy and look great. We're going to be able to add different colors or add background stuff like you have now. But again, the whole point is to, hey, we're going to get you registered. This is their information they gather and they submit it, and then they're ready to go. Okay. Again, this is just kind of what it looks like once the webinar is actually done and completed. It's a post-webinar form for you. So that way, again, afterwards, you gather some information. You'll be able to input your own questions that you want to put in here. You know, so, and it's pretty cool. You can add your own questions, drop downs, check boxes, paragraphs, whatever the case may be, to be able to have that in. So again, post webinar is so important for you guys right now, because regardless of all the Zooms and everything else, if you don't have a way to get post information for them immediately after the webinar, it's hard to get anything. So again, editing your webinar right now, the schedule is basically, you can only select certain days or times for it. But the update that they're literally working on right now is going to be able to say every day at, you know, 10, 1, or 7, like what it currently is for people. That'll be updated. So you can do both, and you'll be able to say, hey, we want a specific day and time on this webinar, or we want to update just so it runs daily at certain times. So that is coming. That update's taking place right now. Inside the schedule, again, it's just something simple. Be able to pick the dates, pick the times and everything like that. Can't really see this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So when they're actually scheduling it, oh, that actually didn't help at all. Let's go zoom. So this is where you can update your landing page, your registration page, and everything else like that. You can add a field, the heading, any other information you want to add, field labels, field type, again, the drop downs and everything, the field size as well. So you'll be able to update it and put it in order on the form. So how it'll pop in, you'll be able to update all of them, preview it just to see what it looks like. And again, it kind of is going to be exactly what you guys just saw in the registration on the other thing. So let's get. You'll be able to email the invitation out. We're working on the ability to integrate this, but this will automatically go out to them to send an email. You can add multiple email addresses. So if you want to email a good majority of people right off the bat, you just have to separate them by comma and send it to them. You'll be able to integrate Twilio. That's one thing you guys don't know behind the scenes right now is I pay for your guys' SMS invitations out of pocket. And that's kind of what that monthly fee goes to. That's that $14.99 or $19.99, depending on where you're at. That's what it's paid for. It's help paid for your texting and integrating that and keeping the system active. So you guys will be able to integrate Twilio and be able to send it out. And that's something we'll have instructions on as well. This is just a simple example email of what they get in their email when it comes down to the emails they'll receive and what they'll look like. And then this is the post-webinar form that you can help create too. It's just very similar to the registration page in itself. So that way you guys can check that out. Select the numbers, select how it looks. This is what it's like when they essentially get onto the webinar and it's about to start. It's saying, hey, you know, the webinar starts and blah, blah, blah. It's got a countdown for it, and then they join the webinar once it's ready to go. Inside of it, they'll be able to start the broadcast. If people have accounts and they have pictures updated, it'll have their names, pictures, and it'll be able to have the text inside of the presentations as well of what people are doing. So it has a normal conversation that people can look at. It's got their personal development, and so by, you know, the name of the webinar and by who will be up there and everything. If they come into a webinar and it's already done and over with, the webinar is expired, sorry, you're late. Okay, so that's if you have a one-time webinar essentially that's popped up and they missed the webinar time, you know, they missed it. That's on them, right? When it comes to uploading your guys' webinar, the one thing that we're going to make super simple is that you can go and upload your own video inside of here. You don't need any outside source like Amazon S3 or Vimeo Pro. You'll be able to upload it directly into here and have it and be able to also change it out too if you need to update your presentation and whatnot. So we're making this all inclusive, guys. That's why we've been putting so much work into it. And you know, as a thank you for you guys, I'm going to show you what you get at the end of this. But if you also wanted to limit your one-time webinars, let's say if you're like, hey, I've only got 50 spots for this webinar, limit it at 50 spots if you want, if you're doing like paid webinars and stuff like that. But typically you'll be able to have it open for people and open it up. You know, if you're doing periodic scheduled webinars, you're not going to have to worry about, you know, having 100 max attendees, because you're typically not going to have 100 people. I mean, if you do, that's great. But through your normal, say, hey, let's meet one-on-one and stuff like that, you're only probably going to have 30, 40 people max, even if you have a very large team, because there's going to be different times that you have structured times where people can actually, you know, jump in the webinars and stuff. But you can have your own link to it, obviously to each webinar, copy, sending it out to people, okay? And then the statistics page, you'll be able to go in and see your own statistics. If you've wanted to do that, I know. We've got right now the Google Documents. It's a lot of integration behind the scenes to update your Google Docs automatically. But you'll be able to start seeing the names, the emails, when they joined, when they left, and how long they were in there and everything. We are going to be doing more updates to this coming up, but to get this platform off the ground, we want to make sure that we at least get some basic stuff for you to be able to process through and check out your attendees. Okay, so just because we get this thing launched coming up the next few weeks, really at sometime in late August is my goal for this, because we still, like I said, are in bug fix. I got to test things out, see how it works, make sure it works perfectly, but you'll be able to check your statistics for people, okay, and be able to see that. We are going to update it to give it more detail as well, in coming updates, but we want to get this thing off the ground more. Once your attendee is in there, they can create their own account, or you can, have them establish an account if they're going to be someone who's viewing your presentations or multiple presentations. Again, if you get access to what I'm about to show you, just by being with me and being loyal to it and putting in the work, they can even create an account too, to at least be a new attendee, have a picture on there and stuff like that for the webinar. I am making sure with my developers that it's not required, because I don't want it to be required. I want it to give them an option to, if they want to create their, be an attendee and actually have a picture and everything, but I don't want to make it required for them. So here's what you guys get, okay? This is what the platform is going to cost people monthly. When you guys first started, you either paid $299 up front for the very first people that started with me, or you paid $349 for the people who got on board on the secondary side, right? So your monthly, your $14.99 or $19.99 a month, that is not changing for you guys. That's going to stay the same, and you're actually going to get access to the 5-stream platform, meaning you're going to be able to have 5 different webinars viewed throughout the entirety. Right now, I personally have multiple webinars that I send clients. It can be anything from a business presentation. It can be just a financial overview. If you're in the financial world, like most of you guys are, it can be just like hey, I'm going to do a debt reduction webinar, uploading that. It can be a budgeting webinar, right? You can have the multiples, and you guys are going to be able to get that for still either $14.99 or $19.99, whatever you actually are paying. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get all 5 platforms and being able to do that instead of paying $129 a month. So you're saving $110 to $115 a month for what you guys can get. So that's just my personal thank you for the everything you guys have done as far as staying with me, believing in the mission and the vision, and being able to do that a little bit more. There's going to be facts pages and stuff. I'm going to start integrating a lot more training into this to be able to help you guys out once we get the platform active and everything. So that's my update, guys. It's something super simple. I'm super excited for this, and it's taken months and months and literally thousands and thousands of dollars poured into this. And it's just something that I personally know that provides a lot of value. But again, we still got to do some things as far as putting it out there, helping people get the message. And you guys got to understand that the more people we talk to, the more people you get in your automated presentations, the better you're streamlining your process. So hopefully this update's sufficient for you guys. And if you have any questions, just respond back to the email and we'll make things happen, guys. So anyways, have a good one.